Hello, everybody. Welcome to the G2X biweekly training. I think this might be week 3 this time. We had an event last time. Thank you, everybody that came. It's good to see you. I'm Alexa Choi, Chief Operating Officer of G2X. Today is going to be very exciting. I'm going to be showing something for the first time that is live for our early access program. We call that the EAP, folks, and it's not live for everybody. So I'm really excited to show this to you because it will be live for everybody in early January. So I figured right before everybody jumps out into their Christmas holidays, it's going to be a fun thing to see. So let's go ahead and get started. Marianne is with me as well. So if you have any questions, any problems, you can ask her for help. And likewise, if you have any questions, put them in the webinar chat, and that's going to go to everybody. Also introduce yourselves in the webinar chat, because that is a great way to network if you would like to. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get started. So, yes, Marianne, can you see my screen okay?
Yes.
All right, perfect. What you're looking at here is the G2X platform homepage. So I am actually on our FedCiv vertical, and we do sell the platform by vertical. So you have access to health, FedCiv, or defense, or all three of them, depending on which one you have. So first place I'm going to go is our events database. Our events database is the most comprehensive database out there. And you can tell just from looking at this front page that we've got government industry days as well as industry events. So you've got your ATARCs, you've got your CMS industry days, you've got your VA thing. And I know that a lot of the industries out here at the CMS industry day in person today, it's very important. These are the things that you want to have on your calendar months in advance and know who you're going to go talk to and have a whole plan set up. So yeah, please do jump in and use this database as much as you possibly can. There's a keyword search. You can actually do your dates to and from and really get whole weeks and things kind of figured out. We've also recently revamped our search here. This is actually really cool and intuitive once you play around with it a little bit. You can filter down on an agency, let's just say CMS, and we're going to hit close. And then let's just say we're going to look at CMS opportunities and hit close. So you've got your opportunities, you've got CMS, and then we're going to hit the save search button. The nice thing is it already kind of explains to you down here at the bottom of like what it is you searched for, so you can kind of remember. You're going to title it CMS Ops, and you're going to hit create saved search. And then that's going to jump you automatically to this page right here, which is all of your saved searches. And then from here, you can actually run that. It's going to be the top one on here, so you can hit run that search to get back to it. And also wanted to show you where this page lives. It's up here in this little bell. So you can come up here into the bell, and then that will bring you here so you can run, edit, or delete any of these searches. One of the great things about the G2X saved searches is that it will roll these up into one email. So you're not going to get like, because you can see I have here, I don't know, 25 of them. I don't get 25 emails. I get one email that's like ServiceNow, here are the things. DHS ICE, here are the things. Accenture, here are the things. So that way you can kind of, rest assured that you can set up the saved searches that you want without being inundated. Okay, so going back to my CMS saved search, right? Would like to point out that we have a lot of really good intel, including, our team takes the time to download and kind of highlight in green and red and yellow and give you all the different information on the CMS opportunities every single month, because CMS updates their forecast. So we're just going to tell you like what was changed, what was new, what was taken out. So that kind of like competitive intel is always there. And that leads me to our G2 exclusives, which are these reports. If you are trying to follow along with me in the G2X that you have right now, this might be living under your search tab in the second tab over. It's called G2 exclusives. And we've basically built them out and put them down here and called them reports. So these are reports where you've got your different pipeline reports. How do you add opportunities to your pipeline? How do you know what's up and coming? I'm going to open this NIH one here and just show you what it looks like. But basically, you've got a PDF that you can download here at the top in case you wanted to, PDF it and do something with it. A lot of people do, whatever people want to do with their data, I get it. Everybody has their own process, right? So you've got your technical resources international here. These will always link you back to the company profiles. I'm going to jump back into that in a second. But really, you've got all of your information at the top. You've got your contract details, your points of contact. And then we've also added for you related items that may be on the G2X site from a market intelligence perspective that you might need to know if you're chasing this deal, right? And we do this all the way down for all of this work. And then these are different opportunities that you can add, right? These are really, really good things to have in your pipeline and to keep appraised of. If this particular customer, in this case, it's NH, is part of your patch. All right, that's the reports, and we would love feedback on this. If you love them, if there are things that you don't see here, we do build a backlog of reports that we're building out, and we would love to add reports that you would find valuable. Of course, if you give us something to write and build out, we would absolutely publish that. So just kind of keep that in mind. Alrighty, so we talked about the reports. This is the new piece I'm going to hop into, and it is the opportunities database. The really cool thing here is that this is brand new for us, right? And what is this? This is a feed directly from sam.gov, right? You're like, why would I use G2X when I could just use sam.gov? I'm going to tell you why. So I just use the keyword platform, and I'm going to hit this apply button, and then I'm going to sort. And this is in beta, so if it looks a little janky, you have to forgive us, excuse our dust, as we build here. But you've got a platform keyword. I'm going to open up the very top one here. You can pop this down and see a little bit more information here. As I open this, though, eventually we are going to have an AI analysis button here where you click that and it will just tell you really quick, like, what is it, what's happening here? Like, why should I care? All of those things. You can add it to your pipeline. We're going to have a pipeline tool down here that if you add this to your pipeline, you're going to be able to track it through the entire life cycle, including all your capture data and details and your P-wins and all of that stuff will all be in there. And as you come on down, you're going to see that you have your attachments here. And in the second release of this, we're also going to have any other related G2X content attached to this as well. So imagine, this is like an innovation day. But what if we rolled together all of the FHWA sources SOTs for the last year and attached them here, right? So then in one page, you can kind of see what the government has been looking at lately and what are they trying to do. And it kind of just helps you get to like, why do you care faster? So, okay, I'm gonna pause there. Marianne, do we have any questions that popped up so far? Does anybody have any questions on this?
Not as of yet.
Okay, so when you think about it, right? Like, why would I use G2X over sam.gov? Pipeline, right? The opportunity analysis, the AI analysis, that's going to make it really, so you don't have to read all this. It's just going to be like, hey, they're having it in an industry day. This is what it is. This is how you register, do the thing. So it's going to, instead of taking the time to read this, which might be like between 3 and 5 minutes, it's going to give you can make that decision within seconds, right? And then, of course, you're going to have your curated G2X like related information at the bottom, giving you that 360 view. So that is why. And I'm going to come down here and pop into the company profiles. Company profiles are something that we've released recently. And one of the things I'm going to play with, rather than just popping into one and showing you, is the Explore Now button. This is super cool. So if we came in here and said, all right, well, I'm curious about socioeconomic status. Like, I want to know women-owned small businesses. Actually, okay, let's get a little bit more crazy. Let's do economically disadvantaged women-owned small businesses that are 8As. Who are these firms, right? Women-owned small business, women-owned disadvantaged small business, 8As. Now you're looking at them. Now you're looking at some of these Alaska Natives. Yeah, for me to talk a little bit about that would be a totally different training as to how those companies exist. Let's add another filter, 541. Let's add 541-611 and close it down. So now you're looking at your economically disadvantaged women-owned small businesses that are 8A that have a NAICS code, primary NAICS code of 541-611. So let me go ahead and pop into one of these companies. Now, I didn't do this search before. I just thought that sounded kind of interesting and cool. So I don't know how this is going to look, but we're going to pop in here and say, okay, so this is a smaller company. I'm going to walk you through some of the pieces to it. So you've got your awards up here, your lifetime contract value. So if you are looking at a company for the very first time, you're going to care as to how much work they've done and with whom, right? I'm going to go into a bigger company after this, but I kind of just want to show you the layout. the data architecture, which is going to start to look a little bit familiar as you go back and forth in between our different sites, right? So you have your business information, contract awards, documents, and insights. This is not going to take you to different pages. This is just going to jump you further down in the page. So you've got all your parts and pieces here. You've got your contract history. You've got your prime contracts by agency. And then you've got your agency breakdown by here. So you can see that they've got contracts with DHA and CDC, which if I'm looking at this is actually pretty interesting. If I'm looking for a women-owned small business 8A company that has worked with DHA and CDC, this company would be a good teaming partner choice, honestly. Looks like they've got a lot of great things going on here. They have an IDV as well. They have a GSA schedule. So that's nice to know. They got their GSA schedule. They've got 3 contracts. So if you're looking for, perhaps you're looking for maybe a protege that is in the health space, this company might be a good one to reach out to. Any questions so far on this? Nope. Okay, I'm going to pop into Visual Connections just because I know that Visual Connections is a heavy user of G2X. So they have their profile built out, so I can show you a little bit more of the bells and whistles of it. So while we're here, I wanted to show you that this profile has been claimed. In order to claim a profile, you need to be a G2X member. But one of the selling points of being a corporate member is the government themselves is one of our biggest chunks of users of G2X. So I'm going to just put that out there and then frame this whole piece from that perspective. So imagine somebody from the government is like, man, I'm really looking for a service disabled company. You know, they're hard to find. They're not that hard to find, honestly. But imagine they were looking and pop in here and you've got this company here, lifetime contract value of 132 million, 40 awards. You've got 10 people on G2X. If you click this 10 people on G2X, you've also got your CEO right here. You can pop open and then you can jump directly into his LinkedIn profile and reach out to him here, or of course you can go to their website. So I feel like that is a really good workflow for like a small business contracting officer that's looking for service disabled veteran-owned companies that could perform on different contracts, right? So as we come down here, you can kind of take a look and see which contracts they do work with. So they have CMS, DLA, and AHRQ, past performance. And then you can come to the subcontracts. I'm going to tell everybody on the call right now, if you've been doing this for a long time, you probably already know that mapping subcontract data back to prime contract data is not an easy task. And if you know the history of why, it kind of makes sense, but having it here mapped back to every single one of these contracts is pretty valuable. And then if you go into the IDVs, so you can see exactly which IDIQs, BPAs that this company has, and GWACs for that matter, pretty important, good to know. Right? All right, so I'm gonna come on down and just kind of keep going on this built out profile. He does have the capabilities brochure attached here, so you can download that. And then as you go on down, you can see that anytime that we've written about this company, it's popping up in here as a G2X insight. So you've got all, like I had mentioned, a 360 view of the company, and that really kind of gives you everything that you need to know should you be reaching out for teaming, partnering, all the different parts and pieces. So I'm going to pause here to see if there are any questions. No questions so far, Marianne?
Nope. You're good.
All righty. Okay, I will continue to keep going. The next piece I'm going to jump into one of these verticals. I'm going to go into FedCiv and just kind of point out that there is another safe search area here. If you're already in FedCiv and you're like, you know what, I kind of want to take a look at the slice of the data only by opportunities. So I'm going to answer a couple of questions by just pulling this up and leaving it here. So let's think about this for a second. How does this data get here? There's a human in the loop. We have a team of folks that do a great job, and they're out there scouring across, I think it's like 22 different NAICS codes in SAM.gov, in the challenges, like OTAs, all these different sources, anything public out there looking for different opportunities that you could potentially get in front of. And those include RFIs and RFPs and RFQs and all that. So you definitely want to kind of keep abreast of this. So if you came in here and you were like FedCiv, opportunities, safe search, you technically could set up your own newsletter, your own way, your own alerts, and just get opportunities from the entire FedCiv organization. So I'm going to pop open one of these. Let's open this one. So it is Department of State, and you've got your documents attached here. It looks like there was a Q&A. So if you were tracking this one and you were wondering if the Q&A had come out, if you had an alert on this one, you can save this and it will actually go up here into your little saved search guy up here as well. So you can do that. This is what it looks like. And then imagine, for example, you were like, all right, I'm gonna do a different workflow now. We're gonna stop that workflow, different workflow. Okay, next workflow is, I want to get into DHS, but I don't know who's doing work at DHS, right? Okay, so we're going to change this from opportunities to awards, and we're going to close, and we're going to come over here, and we're going to say DHS. Okay, close. And then, of course, you can save that search too. You could be like, let's get that in my email inbox every single day. But you come in here and just take a quick look over here. You've got feet. Now remember, one thing I have to tell people that do this kind of thing is like, you probably already know this, but man, DHS is a big organization. You could pick one component of DHS and spend your entire career there. And so same with HHS, same with Department of State, right? The components are gigantic, and knowing that going into it and fully understand the mission is like the first step to being successful. So let's open this Yes And. I like Yes And. They're a nice company. I worked with them in the past. Let's pop in here and see. All right, so it looks like Yes And was awarded, wow, almost $15 million task order with FEMA mission support. And they're doing all kinds of integrated communications, doing all the things. Cool. It's only for 9 months. 15 million for 9 months is a pretty good sized contract. It doesn't seem like they told us how many bidders, but I bet there was a lot of bidders on this one. So this is pretty interesting from an overall perspective. But one thing I wanted to point out is you're like, wow, okay, I want to know about Yes And federal. So pop over here, Yes And. You've got 172 million, 134 awards. They did not claim this yet. So if anybody from Yes And is on the call, hit me up. If not, I'll reach out to you later. You've got down here, you've got mostly FEMA work. So that's actually interesting to know. FEMA is their biggest customer by far. A little, a few cats and dogs here and there, but by far FEMA is their biggest customer. So I guess that does make sense that piece there. They also have quite a few IDVs and things going on. And then you can kind of see down here that this is the first article that we've written about them. So that's a little bit of a workflow of like, who at DHS is buying from whom and how, right? So you can kind of do that research. And yes, there are tools out there and, where you can actually slice and dice that data. And, in a few months, you're going to be able to do that in G2X as well. But sometimes it's nice to see it from like a granular level. What's the actual contract? What was the competition behind it? How did which contract vehicles were used and how many bidders were, how competitive was it? Like all of those parts and pieces are things that you might care about. Okay, I'm going to pop in here and talk about our people directory for a second. If you come over here and notice that you have my little photos over here with this little circle, you can pop in here into profile and complete your profile. And one of the things G2X is building, and it's been kind of blowing my mind recently, honestly, being on all the design calls, is the in-app chat. Don't worry, your information is safe here. We're not going to have people chatting with you unless you opt in, right? And we're hoping that a lot of people build out their profiles and opt into it, because in the future, if you're opted in, you can reach out and say, hey, Kiran, Chief Operating Officer of Anika Systems. I know Anika has great past performance, and Anika does actually, big facts. I would love to talk to you about teaming on this upcoming opportunity. Bam, it's going to pop up a little bit like it does in LinkedIn, like down here, where you could then go in there and write back, yeah, that sounds great. Let's get on a call, blah, 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 done. So first step there though, get your company profile filled out, right? And then also, I did want to point out that your settings are here as well. If you are listed as an account manager, this little guy here, the little gear there is where you can do your account management. And then you can, change your password and all that other stuff in here. And then also this little help guy up here, this is how you can get in touch with our amazing customer service team. So the customer service team, Julie Cooper is the lead there. Hey, Julie, I think she's on the call today. Thanks for coming. And the team is fantastic and has been around for a very long time. So if you have any questions or problems or issues or anything like that, they will be more than happy to take care of you. Danny Lobaton is our Chief Technology Officer. He's the one who builds all the fun things in here. And there is a lot of Easter eggs that he likes to bury in the site. If you find a penguin randomly, that's definitely Danny. All right. As I had mentioned also, when you're kind of taking a look in here at the different folks in here, you're gonna notice if you're kind of perusing through here that there's a lot of government folks in here. So just kind of like keep that in mind as you're looking through here. And yeah, you could definitely figure out different ways of reaching out based on who they are and what they're doing. The good news is also that we are going to start building out more information heavy pages around, like, for example, NAICS codes. We want to have actual NAICS code pages where you go to like 541, 512, that complete NAICS code, like who's buying off that NAICS code, what vehicles are using that NAICS code, what contracting officers like that NAICS code. So you can then, like, you can penetrate the data from different sides and kind of different views to kind of get to the outcomes that you need to put in place to get to where you need to be, right? Because everybody, as I had mentioned with the different data pieces, everybody has different ways of doing their data research. So, all right, with that being said, we've kind of covered all the pieces except GovAIQ. Today, I'm not going to demo GovAIQ, but it is a proposal automation tool. So if you log into this, if I just click that and you hit sign up, you need to verify your G2Xchange subscription information. If you hit that button and you put in your login information, then it's going to bring you the next time to the login where you're going to put that. It just kind of like connects the dots the first time you do it. And then it's pretty self-explanatory, like as an AI tool, as I've noticed, we've all gotten more used to using AI tools. You can upload the sam.gov link and it will drop you in to this tool where it will start using AI bots to formulate a response for you. And it's really going to be like a pre-pink team, kind of like light pink team draft that you can then copy and paste, put it in something else, and then start from there, right? So it kind of like gets you from 0 to there faster. That's kind of our whole goal. I'm going to pop over also to our G2X top line website here and just point out that we have started a blog. And one of the blog pieces that I think is pretty valuable is that we've got our 2025 must attend list out here. And these are events that people really, if you miss it, then you're like, how did I not have this on my calendar? Right? So for example, we have hymns super early this year. And actually the ServiceNow Fed Forum is also, I need to add that to this list. It's super early this year as well. I'm not sure why everybody decided to do everything early this year, but that's in February. Hymns is in Vegas. You've got your, your big events that you don't want to miss out on. You've got our ATAR GuiTech, that's a good one as well. So, this whole list here are just things you want to have on your calendar. World Congress for NCMAs in Texas this year. So, just want to keep, ELC. So funny. ELC always comes around. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, the hotel is sold out. Oh, like I'm telling you now, before the year even starts when it is. So you can do what you need to do early. So then, we've also had a few other blog posts up here. And then one of the pieces I want to talk about with our website is if you come to the base website, g2x.com, right? And then you hit this /, it's going to bring you to a tool called Lumen. And this is really what I wanted to show you right before we log off for the day, is if you go to NIST released a new CHIPS source of SOT, which is so cool because, every time I see chips, all that happens is money signs. That's all I see is money signs, right? So if I come over here and grab the sam.gov link, and I'm going to come over here and just paste it behind that /, it's going to open up a tool that we call Lumen. And Lumen is a free, oh my gosh, I forgot. Lumen will not work if there's no attachments. And of course, the one I decided to grab doesn't have any attachments. This is my kind of luck. I'll show you how it works. So if this had documents, then you fed it into Lumen, it would actually read the documents. And let's see if this one does. Yeah, this one does. This is a source of SOT, Q&A, help desk questions. Let's not do that. Let's do that. Okay. This is, I'll do a different one. I wanted to give you one from today that was like super exciting. But this is one from a while ago and the due date was already on December 2nd, but at least it will show you how it works. It reads the documents and then it will give you the insights and details and history and the attachments and everything all at once rolled up on the side. But then this is a chat bot. You can chat with it and say, what is the government actually looking for? How should I respond? And it's going to give you all of this advice. And this is actually a pretty cool one because PRISM is something that I care about, and acquisition reporting systems and all that stuff is pretty exciting for me anyways. So it's going to answer this. Yep. Yep. Cool. Yep. So you can actually do that chat with it. You can come in here and it's going to give you a brief and tell you exactly what they're looking for in different it's like a HHS acquisition system. And then it's going to tell you what the original description is, the history of it, the attachments. You can download all the attachments from here. So that's it. This is Lumen, and it's a pretty cool tool, and it is free. And to use it, you just come up here and you go to our base website, put that /, and then you can put any sam.gov link and it will start the process over by uploading the documents. So hopefully that makes sense. Does anybody have any questions on Lumen?
I see nothing.
Okay, perfect, wonderful. Well, since we have like 2 or 3 extra minutes, I will talk about one thing the one thing that I think is underused as a workflow in G2X. So I'm going to pop into health just because it's here. And I'm going to scroll on down and I'm going to select industry news. I think a lot of people are not really sure why we spend so much time playing around with industry news. I think from the industry side, people are like, yeah, okay, so, Appian hired this new guy, who cares? Well, I mean, first of all, if we just go back to the PRISM deal we were just looking at, if you know anything about this space, you probably know, if you're on the acquisition side of the house, Appian is playing big in that space. And now they hired a new director. He could be somebody you could reach out to team with you on that particular deal that we were just talking about. That's a quick, easy workflow. But let's talk about from the government's perspective. So we also are tracking government industry news. And this is one that is like a NIH new chief information officer. And, you can pop in here and get a link to their LinkedIn directly. So you can kind of pop right in there. And you probably know as much as I know that the first couple weeks of somebody getting announced is really the only time you can get on their calendar. And the other thing I was going to say is that from a G2X perspective, we don't just go out publishing anything. These are always what do we say? Budget holders, decision makers. Those are the folks that we track. We're not going to just track anybody. So, it's good to know and kind of keep these things in the forefront of your brain as to like the who's and the what's in the house. So that's really just trying to help you figure out like a call plan type of a thing. Like, why do I care? Who do I need to reach out to? And how can I really get in front of them to move my certain things forward that I need to? So hopefully that makes sense. So you can see this guy was at Deloitte. He moved over to Leidos. He's managing the health operations space for Leidos, which is a huge deal. Right. Any questions in the last final 2 minutes? Any questions at all from the folks on the call?
I don't see anything. Nothing's popping up.
All right, perfect. Well, then this concludes our G2X training for today. Thank you so much for coming, and I will see you on the platform. Have a great day.